All right, guys, good morning and happy weekend. Everything going on in the hobby right now seems to be sports card radio, and then Geoff Wilson and the loans people got from businesses. I don't really care about any of it, to be honest with you. It's not giving me change of process or heart towards a person. Sports card radio are one of the watchdogs of the hobby, but they're the Frankenstein version of the watchdog, because they add a little extra sauce to the content. Basically, is what they do, and we all know they're entertaining. It's part of the reason we watch it, just for that little shock. What are they going to say? And people are afraid to go after them because they obviously know how to dig up dirt, and if they know how to dig up dirt on you, and you might have a skeleton in your closet or something that might be easily manipulated to look like you have a skeleton in your closet, then they will expose that, and that's what people are afraid of. And I'm waiting to see if somebody actually tries to sue them. At some point, they probably will. I mean, obviously, they've already said they would attempt to, but they haven't. So at that point, nobody's really trying to sue them. So whatever it may be. Outside of that, with the hobby, the one thing I would say is watch out with the product you're buying. They're printing a lot of this stuff. Every week, these shelves, when they're getting stocked right now at retail, they're getting stocked a lot. Now, obviously, key product that people are doing well and people are getting good hits and are worth the value, because a lot of this stuff is no longer worth the value. And that's what they've done. They've killed the value of the product. And by doing that, they've slightly killed what I could consider the stronger version of the hobby's interest. Because at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff still moves at Walmart and Target because somebody sees it and they're like, I haven't seen sports cards in 3 years, I gotta buy it. And they do it. Optic and Select, people will still buy that, but for the group that's been, in this for years, especially at a retail standpoint, understand how diluted the product is now. And, who wants a diluted product? I don't. So the only thing I've really been buying retail-wise is the Topps Update hangers, which I was able to get a bunch of those on a Target drop one day in store. I ended up splitting them with a friend of mine. And I haven't opened them yet. I want to. It's been so busy. This time of year is super, super busy for me. And, I'll open those up. I'll probably open all of them up at one time. I'm not going to hold them. That's going to be like my hobby box of retail products. And then hope to maybe hit a banger out of there. That'd be cool. Nice J-Rod or Franco. But outside of that, Topps Chrome Sapphire is a little bit pricey, but it's always been pricey. I ended up getting 2 boxes of that on Topps' website when they sold it the other day. $250 each. That's a $500 swing. That's kind of hard to comprehend a little bit for a checklist that's usually in the 600 card range or something crazy like that. So those I have I have a little bit of inkling to want to open one, but then I'll want to open the second, because if I don't do well, I'm going to assume that I want to try and make it back on the second box. But I think I'm just going to hold those. I like the class. I like the group of people that are in it. I think it's going to be hot for a while. It just hit the market, so as soon as they start to play baseball again, we get a little inclination of who's going to do well this year, who's jumping to the next level. I think at that point you're really going to see everybody kind of start to buy more of this, want to break more of it, and stuff like that. And when that happens, the product just goes up, obviously, really quickly. So I do see that happening here. I'm getting ready to have breakfast with a friend of mine here at the Boozy Pig. Sports card wise, other than that, I got one more show, the Shriner show, which I call the 2.0 show, which is out on Walsingham. I'll link the actual address in this post, because I know some other people are like, hey, when you're going to these shows, could you please put the address in there? That way, if they're interested in a show even in the future, since it's always in the same location, that we can then, go to that show. And that's cool. I have no problem with that. So, other than that, are y'all grabbing any of this stuff at retail? I didn't do any Dave and Adams or any of Blowout's purchases, because I know at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is still way higher priced than what it should be. and what I say is what it should be is what it was a long time ago. There may be a new thing where this is just the new price for everything moving forward. I do think some retail stuff will settle back down, but at the end of the day, all this stuff's still moving. You're not going to see Optic in clearance. You're not going to see Select in clearance. You're not going to see top stuff usually in clearance. I mean, usually Allen Ginter will do it. Heritage every once in a while in certain locations will fall back, but we haven't seen much clearance at all. I mean, there's still not even a clearance bin at Walmart like there used to be, where there just always was a bin of clearance stuff. That doesn't exist yet. Most of the clearance places you've seen is Walgreens and CVS, and being in Florida where I'm at, it seems like we're the last to get a lot of stuff, so we're also the last to have any of that stuff actually hit. But at that time, people are so hungry for it, they just buy it all anyway. But, you know, at some point, that's really what's going to happen, is you're going to have a hard swing next year. 2023 is going to be that really weird year. If the Fed raises the rate again, does that cause the higher level inflation? Does that slow people down? I don't really know. I feel like society as a whole, as long as nothing has actually happened to you, job loss wise or whatnot, I don't see why you wouldn't keep moving the same direction you always have. Maybe you're a little more cautious because the media will blow this out of proportion, make you feel like, oh no, I have to hold my money, I gotta stay. You know, for a long time, it was going to the point where cash isn't king, but now cash is becoming king again. And even at some shows, I've noticed people will take a significantly nice chunk off of a value of something for straight cash. And if you have cash, always offer cash at a lesser value. I think that's just your biggest benefit. But I'm gonna get ready to go in here and eat. I might add another video on the end of this. I'll probably do some little B-roll of the inside of the shop here. It is a meat market and also a breakfast place that they own. They're not paying me to do this, so but that way, if you're ever in Tampa and you're interested in some grass-fed, local sourced area beef and chicken, eggs, pork, whatever it may be, sausage, that you could get that at this location. All right, guys, I'm getting ready to go inside, and I'll see you a little bit. Some lemon ricotta pancakes here, nice and fluffy. Those are really good. And then here's the Hillsborough hash that they have. That's got potatoes, plantains, a couple easy eggs, some other stuff mixed in below it. Here are some tallow fries. These are cooked in tallow fat, which is beef fat. Here's some of the meats that they have. You can see the pricing too on them. Again, most of this stuff's all grass-fed, locally sourced type food. So keep that in mind too, because some of it's going to be a little more expensive than your average grocery store. But it's all good stuff. We got dill pickle, brine Cajun rub pork belly. That's got to be fantastic. Let's get a little closer on that. Yep, yummy. Chops here. Those tomahawks. It's fantastic. Short rib pork belly. Just good stuff. All this stuff. You can also buy some of these steaks and stuff here, and they'll cook them for you. They do have a steak on the menu, but you can buy these here and they'll cook them for you in the back. Got a cowboy burger over here. If you jump, they got all their beef jerkies that they do here as well. So I'll probably grab some right before I leave.